Hello, everyone. I am Li Ying from number 3 Vocational Technical School of Nanning. Welcome to this mini lecture. Today, we will learn about the origin and development of computer network systems. Before we begin, let's think about what a computer network is. What roles do computer networks play in the information age? When it comes to computer networks, especially the internet, which is closely intertwined with our daily lives, I believe you are all familiar with it. It is not only ubiquitous in our studies and daily lives but also an indispensable part of many professional fields, playing a crucial role. Starting today, I will lead you into the fascinating world of computer networks, and together, we will unveil its mysteries layer by layer. This mini lecture consists of two main parts. 1. Computer network systems. 2. The origin and development of computer networks. The teaching objectives of this mini lecture are: 1. To master the basic concepts of computer networks. 2. To understand the origin and development of computer networks. Let's start by understanding what a computer network system is. Computer network systems interconnect multiple geographically dispersed and functionally independent computer systems using communication devices and lines, employing fully featured network software to achieve resource sharing and information transmission within the network. A computer network must possess the following three basic elements. First, it requires at least two computers with independent operating systems that have a need to share some resources between them. Second, these independent computers must be connected through some means of communication. Third, for the independent computers in the network to communicate with each other, there must be established mutually recognizable network standards or protocols. A complete computer network should comprise four parts. The first is the computer system, which consists of hardware and software systems, such as PCs, workstations, and servers. The second is network equipment, namely devices with basic functions like data forwarding, such as repeaters, hubs, and switches. The third is the communication medium, i.e., the communication lines, such as coaxial cables, twisted pairs, and optical fibers. The fourth is communication protocols, which are the rules that must be followed for communication between computers, such as Ethernet protocol and token ring protocol. Having learned this far, you should now understand the concept of computer network systems, their components, and the methods of information dissemination and exchange. So, what about the developmental history of computer networks? Let's move on to the second part, the origin and development of computer networks. First, let's understand the origin and foundation of the Internet. Since the 1950s, the evolution of computer networks has spanned 4 generations. The first generation of computer networks, the remote online network. Starting from the mid-1950s, systems centered around a single computer formed terminal-oriented computer networks known as the first generation of computer networks. The host was responsible for both data processing and communication handling, while terminals only received displayed data or provided data to the host. This setup was easy to maintain and manage with good data consistency but had high host loads, poor reliability, and low data transmission rates. In 1951, the Lincoln Laboratory at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology in the U.S. began designing a semi-automatic ground environment (SAGE) air defense system for the U.S. Air Force, which is considered a pioneer in the integration of computer and communication technologies. The second generation of computer networks, the multi-computer interconnection network. From the mid-1960s, multiple independent mainframe computers were interconnected through lines to form a computer network without a network operating system, essentially just a communication network. In 1969, the Advanced Research Projects Agency, ARPA, of the U.S. Department of Defense started building a network named ARPANET. ARPANET was primarily used for military research purposes and featured resource sharing, distributed control, packet switching, specialized communication control processors, and layered network protocols. ARPANET became a symbol of the birth of modern computer networks. The third generation of computer networks, the standardized network. The third-generation computer networks are characterized by a unified network architecture that adheres to international standards, representing open and standardized networks. For example, in 1974, ASO released the renowned ISO IEC 7498 standard, which defined the 7-layer framework for network interconnection, known as the Open System Interconnection (OSI) reference model. This led to the rapid development of computer networks around the world with a unified network architecture following international standardization protocols. In 1973, Kahn and Cerf jointly invented the TCP/IP protocol, with TCP and IP being the core protocols of TCP/IP. In 1983, TCP/IP officially replaced NCP, thereby becoming the network rule followed by most of the Internet. The fourth generation of computer networks, the development of interconnection and high-speed network technology. In June 1993, the United States proposed the NII Plan, National Information Infrastructure, aiming to establish an information superhighway. With the mature development of local area network technology, the advent of fiber optics and high-speed network technologies, multimedia networks, and intelligent networks, the entire network acted like a large computer system transparent to users. It evolved into the Internet, represented by the Internet, with its main features being integration, high speed, intelligence, and globalization. That's all for the mini lecture today. Next, we will summarize this lesson. In this lesson, we learned and mastered the concept of computer network systems, their components, and methods of information dissemination and exchange, and understood the developmental history of computer networks. Finally, to reinforce our learning, I've prepared some exercises for you. I hope you will complete them diligently to internalize the knowledge we've covered. This concludes the mini lecture today. Thank you, everyone.